Good morning, everyone, and welcome to COL's Basic Investing webinar titled Getting Started with Your Investing Journey. I am Lorraine Reyes, and I will be your host for today's session. Again, thank you very much because you took the time na maka-join kayo dito sa aming learning session for today. We will be having poll questions to help us create a background for our discussions. So let's run the first poll question. Okay, the first question is, what do you want to invest in? Number one, I want to buy stocks. Number two, I want to buy mutual funds or equity index funds. Number three, I want to buy both. Or number four, I don't know what to invest in. All you have to do is to select one answer and then click the submit button. Okay, so I guess most of our participants have already um, placed their answers. So let's share the results with everyone. Okay, so it is good to note that 43% of you would like to buy both stocks and mutual funds, while the remaining 30% do not know yet. 36% do not know yet what to invest in. So hopefully, right after po this presentation, malaman nyo na kung ano yung best investment para sa inyo. Thank you very much for participating. Now I know that you are excited at wag na nating patagalin pa. Let us introduce our resource speaker for today. So our resource speaker is a certified securities representative and a certified investment solicitor. She has been with COL for 9 years under the sales team, and currently she is the manager of the Investor Center in Makati. Let us all welcome Miss Mai Lubaton.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much, Lorraine. Thank you everyone for waking up early today. Yung mga iba baka hindi pa naliligo, pero okay lang yan kasi since you invested your time this morning, it's actually your way or the first step for you to become rich. And my name is Mai and I will join you on this road trip as you get started with your investing journey. So let me introduce CUL. CUL Financial is the leading and the largest, the fastest growing online stock brokerage in the Philippines. We are 20 years, therefore adulting na kami. That's why dahil sa 20 years na yun, we're able to build more than 380,000 clients, and we are managing 64 billion pesos in customer assets, making us number one in this industry. One plus point trend with COL is that we are the first and the only online stock brokerage listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. So therefore, you can also buy and invest in COL. And this is a perfect time. Why? Because in our COL online platform, you can also buy stocks and mutual funds together. O, diba? Hindi mo na kailangan hiwala-hiwalayin. Isang platform na lang, you're able to buy both stocks and mutual funds, making us a one-stop shop for your investing needs. You are here and you are actually attending this seminar for specific reasons. Pero I know, meron lang tayong one main reason bakit gusto natin matutunan to lahat. Kasi gusto natin yumaman. Tama ba? And our chairman and founder believes that every Filipino deserves to be rich. In short, sana all, di ba? Sana all talaga ay mag-invest na today para lahat tayo yumaman na. Pero ano ba ibig sabihin ng pagiging mayaman or ng pagiging rich? We can actually use the term financially secured kasi parang pag financially secured ka na, ibig sabihin you're not living from paycheck to paycheck and you are actually able to buy all your needs and all your wants without worrying na maubos yung pera mo. Tama ba? Okay. And let me share with you three types of people in terms of managing their finances. Okay. May tanong ako sa inyo ha. Okay. First type of person is the spender. Ang tanong, itong spender na to actually, sige, explain ko muna. Spender na to, ito yung kakatapos lang ng 9-9, nabangan na niya yung 10-10 kasi meron siyang naisip na hindi ko nabili doon, bibilin ko sa 10-10 pag nakalimutan mo na naman sa 11-11, 12-12, 1-1, 2-2, tuloy-tuloy lang at wala pa yung sweldo, ubus na. Ito po yung spender. Ayan. At ito yung swipe ng swipe sa credit card na hindi mo na alam kung magkano yung babayaran mo kasi wala na, hindi na natin nakikita dahil na-enjoy mo na lang yung mga perks na yon, pero hindi mo pa nakikita na malaki na ang bill mo. Sa tingin mo ba, ang tanong, will this spender become financially secure? Unlikely. This second type of person is what we call the saver. Saver naman, siya yung mahiling mag-ipon, magtabi ng pera, pero tinabi lang niya. Usually, pag saver ka, ang tinatabi mo yan either sa savings, tapos, eventually, pag may nakaipon ka na, yun na yung magagamit mo in terms of emergency or for your retirement. Sa tingin mo ba ang tanong, itong saver na to will become financially secured? Possible, di ba? Depende sa disiplina niya. And this third type of person is what we call the investor. Ito investor habang nag-online business or habang nagtatrabaho or work from home or kung saan man siya nagtatrabaho, this investor sets aside money and invest it to make that money work for her or for him. So kumbaga, habang nag-earn siya ng active income, meron siyang passive income. Nilalagay niya, ini-invest niya yung pera niya. Sa tingin niyo ba, this person, this investor will become financially secured? Most likely, most probably, di ba? And today, we'll also teach you on how you can actually achieve financial security. So how do we start doing that one? 3 steps to financial security. First, save. Second, invest. Third, reinvest. Okay, ito. Bago natin simulan to lahat, tong save, invest, reinvest, I'll make it very, very simple for you. Sa mga plantito at plantita dyan, sa mga plant nanay at plant tatay, sa mga planty at mga aso niyong plantuta, imagine nyo, kumuha ka at bumili ka ng halaman. In-display mo, halaman lang siya. That's number one. You save it. You save the plant. And then eventually, it will come to a point, mamatay din siya. Maubusan ka din. Diba? Second, ang invest sa isang plant, na, ewan ko, first time ko lang marinig to. Siguro hindi ko talaga siya ginagamit na term. Pero ang invest, you get a cutting from that plant. What you do, you propagate. Kung ikaw ay plantita, alam mo ito. Propagate. Propagate, you make, di ba kailangan magka-roots muna for you to be able to plant it? You propagate that plant. Once it builds the roots, you plant it, you invest it so that it can create another plant. That's invest. Third, reinvest. Kasi yung invest, isang beses mo lang ginawa, kuha ka lang ng isang cutting. Ang reinvest, you get more cuttings, you propagate, you plant it, and then you become a jungle in your house. Ganon. So, ganon ang ibig sabihin ng save, invest, and reinvest. So, I'll discuss it, I'll discuss each one for us to be able to understand. Ayan, para mas maintindihan natin kung ano itong save, invest, reinvest. At makapagsimula na tayo at ma-achieve na natin ang financial security. Okay, first, we have to save. The first and best way to actually becoming rich is to actually start saving. Diba? Alam nyo ba mga Pilipino, medyo nahihirapan dyan. Bakit? Kasi, ba't mo isipin ng savings? Eh, ang dami nating bayarin, di ba? Pag adulting ka na, dami mong bills to pay. But why do we have to save? Because we have to pay ourselves first. We have to reward ourselves. Bakit? Kasi ikaw ang gumising dyan, ikaw ang nagtrabaho sa sweldo mo, ikaw ang nagbenta ng online, ng sales mo, ng mga benta mo dun sa tindahan mo. So therefore, you have to give it back to yourself. Why? Because you worked hard for it. But the usual formula that we actually use, guilty din ako dyan noong una, but once we get our income, profits, or whatever, syempre, babawasan mo yung expense kasi bills, kuryente, tubig, grocery, at kung ikaw ay nanay, ang dami pang iisipin, di ba? Marami ka pang papasweldohin kung meron kang mga kasama sa bahay. And then the rest, kung ano matira, yun ang savings. Pero ang tanong, may natitira ba sa ating sweldo? Actually, wala. Nga, di ba? Kasi ubos na ubos. Actually, kulang pa. Di ba? Tama ba? Tama. Sana naririnig ko kayo ngayon. Pero for sure, you agree with me. Pero if we really want to start that discipline, once you get your income, you actually deduct your savings and then the rest, yung expenses. So for us to be able to achieve this, ang pwede natin gawin, buwasan natin yung expenses para umabot tayo dun sa puntong kaya na nating magtabi ng savings at nung natira for expenses, sakto na or kaya na nating gamitin for our daily needs. And in terms of expenses, we also have to understand that we have to categorize our expenses to essentials and non-essentials, di ba? Para maintindihan natin, baka naman non-essentials lang yung ibang expenses natin. O baka naman pwede pa tayo magtipid, hindi lang natin nakikita. But the best formula that we can actually use is that once you get your income, you deduct your savings and you deduct your investments. So yung savings actually parang emergency fund mo. Yung investments, yun yung i-invest mo para mas lumago yung pera mo. Mas lumaki siya nang hindi mo naramdaman. Di ba? Tatabi mo lang and then the rest expenses. I know this is still hard for us, lalo na ngayon, it's pandemic. And this pandemic, you know what? I realized the value of emergency fund. Diba? Kailangan meron tayong emergency fund. So kung yun pa lang, medyo nahirapan na tayo, what we can actually do is transition from one to the other and then to the last one. So one step at a time, one day at a time, one expense at a time. Diba? That's the first one, save. Second one, why invest? O, diba? Bakit nga ba tayo mag-i-invest? One big reason why we need to invest is for us to be able to beat inflation. Ano ba itong inflation? Ang inflation, ang pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin. O, diba? Kaya inflation, lumaki. Diba? Hindi naman natin naramdaman na bumaba ang presyo. Diba? So, lahat naman nagmamahalan na. Kayo na lang ni X ang hindi. Hindi, joke lang. Actually, may bagong definition ng inflation ngayon. Galing sa friend ko to. Ang inflation daw ay ang paglaki ng iyong timbang dahil sa madalas na pagkain ngayong quarantine. O, pwede rin yon, di ba? Pwede rin yung inflation, di ba? But why are we talking about inflation? Because in this example, noong 1997, I can remember grade 7 ako nito. The one-piece Chicken Joy was actually worth 34 pesos. Currently, today, in 2020, it's actually 84 pesos na. My gosh, yung 50 pesos na nanggaling yon, di ba? Malamang nagmahal lahat, logistics, materials. And guess what? When we reach 2040, the one-piece Chicken Joy will be actually worth 184 pesos. Yung 184 pesos na yan ay isang buong manok na yan. Lechon manok. Kung actually lalabas ka, buong lechon manok na yan. Pero in 2040, it's just a piece of Chicken Joy. Imagine, in this example, Chicken Joy pa lang to, paano kaya ibang bilihin? For sure, we'd like to make our money grow more so that we'll be able to make our, kumbaga, we'll be able to survive. Kasi kung lahat nagmamahalan na, dapat yung pera natin or yung income natin, lumalaki din. So kumbaga, kung may inflation, dapat yung sweldo natin or yung kita natin, dapat sinasabayan or mas hihigitan pa. That's why it's very important that we invest. Third, reinvest. O, bago to. Kasi may invest na. Pwede namang kalimutan mo na lang. Itong reinvest, maganda to kasi when you reinvest, you actually maximize the power of compounding. As you can see, this gray line, if you have 50,000 now, you invest that 50,000 into an investment that will earn 6% per annum. Tapos every time nagkaka-interest siya, you withdraw it, iwan mo lang yung capital na 50,000. In 30 years, your 50,000 plus all the interest that you withdrew, i-add mo yun lahat, your 50,000 can actually grow to 140,000. Not bad, diba? Not bad. At least it grew. But what if you invest all your interests on top of that 50,000? Kung makita niyo yung yellow line, in this reinvesting line, your 50,000 in 30 years can actually grow to 287,000 pesos. Diba? Mas malaki siya doon sa pag kinuha mo yung interest, iniwan mo lang yung kapital. This is why we have to understand the power of compounding. Kasi compounding can actually help make your money grow not even double time. Mas madali pa. Kasi you keep on adding to your investment. Yan. Now, what's the best investment to grow your money in the long term? Of course, we believe it's stocks. History has proven that investing in the stock market can actually outperform all investment vehicles. Now, when we say long-term, ano ba yung long-term? 2 years ba yan? Actually, ang long-term is at least 5 years. Pwede mo naman yan i-compare ang commitment. Ang long-term commitment ba ay 5 months lang? Hindi, di ba? Dapat long-term. So, when we talk about long-term, years ang usapan. Kung 5 years nga, actually, maikli pa yan eh. We can actually extend it to 10 years if we have time. Maybe majority of you are young here. Well, 10 years is actually long-term already. Ayan, di ba? Now, let's talk about the stock market. Ano ba itong stocks na ito na naririnig natin? Stocks or shares are actually a piece of a company. Example, isang kumpanya gusto niya would like to raise capital. Why? Because maybe for some reasons like they want to expand, they want to invest into another venture. So imbis na manghiram siya ng pera sa bangko, ang gagawin niya, that company will open a portion of its company to the public. Yung part na yon will divide it into shares. These shares will be put into the market, the stock market. Doon natin bibilin yung shares. Example, if a company has 10,000 shares and we will buy 1,000 shares, we actually own 10% of that company, diba? So once you buy shares of a company, once you buy stocks of a company, you actually become a shareholder. You become a stockholder. You become a business owner. You become a co-owner, diba? So ibig sabihin, kasosyo ka ng kumpanya. So how does the stock market work? Ayan. Kasi once you buy shares, paano ka nga ba bibili ng shares? So before, stock market, traditional yan. Mayroong tatawag. Naalala ko pa yan eh, yung sa mga movies, yung nagsisigawan, di ba? Magbibid, kaya magbibid. As ngayon, stable na. Kasi thanks to technology, everything is online. Ayan. So all companies who will list their companies publicly, yung shares na yon, lalagay nila sa stock market. It's a palengke. A palengke wherein dun mo bibilihin ng mga shares of that company. Sa palengke na yon, that's what we call the stock market here in the Philippines is what we call the Philippine Stock Exchange. Sa palengke na yon, dun tayo bibili. Pero hindi ka bibili directly. You have to have a broker. That broker will help you link yourself for you to be able to buy and sell shares of those public stocks or shares in that stock exchange. You get me? Ganon. So para ikaw makabili ka or makabenta ka, kailangan meron kang broker. Ganon yung stock market. And in the stock market, it's actually a place where you can partner with big and successful publicly listed companies by buying shares to participate in its growth. But take note, not all companies are big, successful, and can actually grow. So how do you earn when you become a shareholder? Always remember, whatever happens to the company happens to your investment. Bakit? Kasi kasosyo ka eh. So how do you earn? You earn in two ways. First, through dividends. Second, through price appreciation. So let's talk about price appreciation. Ano ba tong price appreciation? It's the increase in the value of a company, meaning lumago siya, lumaki ang value niya. Why? Because lumaki ang business. Nagkaroon ng profits, meron siyang joint ventures, may mga partners, different reasons. Okay? So example, let's talk about Wilcon. Wilcon became public through an initial public offering or what we call IPO in 2017. Yung presyo niya that time was 5.05 per share. So yan yung presyo niya nung first time niyang lumabas sa mundo. Ayan, parang first time niya maging available sa market. Currently, in 2020, Wilcon is now worth 15.80 per share. I have a question. Kumita na ba tayo? Yes. Pero itong kita na to, makukuha mo yan pag binenta mo na at 15.80. Okay? Yon. So that's how you see, that's how you understand price appreciation. Take note, not all companies can actually appreciate as mentioned. Yan. Kaya kailangan mo rin tayo pumili. Mamaya, we'll discuss it. Second, through dividends. Ano ba tong dividends? Actually, narinig natin to pag nagbe-business eh. Dividends are actually profits distributed to shareholders. Kasi dahil ikaw ay kasosyo ko, therefore, dapat meron ka ring cut sa ating profit. That's what we call dividends, to make it really simple. So example, Meralco this year alone declared, wow, a total of 15.092 cash dividends lang So this is cash dividends per share. I-multiply mo yan sa number of shares na meron ka sa Meralco. Kung hindi ka shareholder, wala kang dividends. Pero if shareholder ka, let's say you have 1,000 shares of Meralco, multiply it to the cash dividends, you have 15,000 pesos in cash dividends alone. Wala pa dun yung price appreciation. So, you earn both ways. Diba? Okay ba yun? So, why choose stocks? Because, as mentioned, history has proven that investing in the stock market can actually outperform all investment vehicles. And, alam mo dito sa stocks kasi, uh, you can see this line, no? The yellow line, ayan, the inflation rate. Kailangan natin i-compare siya sa inflation rate kasi, di ba, ang inflation rate, ang pagtaas ng presyo ng lahat ng bilihin at ng mga serbisyo. If you put your money in the bank, let's say the time deposit or savings, it can only give you 2.4% and 2.3%. Kulang pa siya, yung nilago niya, kulang pa dun sa pagmahal ng mga bilihin. Therefore, abonado ka pa. If ilalagay natin ang pera natin sa savings account, we won't be able to survive. Why? We won't be able to buy our necessities, our essentials. Bakit? Kasi kulang yung naipon natin. And just to let you know, no one can guarantee results. No one can guarantee interest. But we can only base it to historical performance and see if it can also happen in the future. And based on this 15-year annualized returns from 2005 to 2019, the stock market gave 10.2% increase. Diba? Meron ka ng profits. At 10.2, ibawas mo dyan yung inflation rate, still, kumbaga, kaya mong bilhin lahat ng mga nagmamahala na at meron ka pang kita. Yan, stocks. Now, kanina 'di ba, meron tayong slide about reinvesting. Ang example natin doon 6% lang. Now, since we have seen that based on history, stock market can actually give a 10.2 return, let's use that in this slide. If you have 50,000 now, in 30 years, you keep on invest your 50,000 and reinvesting all interest, you'll be able to make your money grow to 920 thousand pesos. Actually, almost 1 million. Kung tinaasan mo lang tong 50,000 na to, may 1 million ka na in 30 years. I have a question. At 30 years to your age, do you think you are still alive? Sa mga gusto ng mauna, sige po. Pero kung ako malalaman ko na I have this amount 30 years from now, pipilitin kong mabuhay. 'Di ba? Kasi kailangan ko 'tong ma-enjoy. Para at least ako mismo yung pinaghirapan ko i-reinvest, I'll be able to enjoy 30 years from now. So you make that goal na, wow, oo nga no, 1 million 30 years from now. And what if I can add more? Therefore, I can reach it before 30 years. Diba? So that's the power of compounding. Now, what are the two ways for you to be able to buy stocks? You can actually buy individual stocks, the companies, or you can buy a very big, very good basket, what we call the equity index funds. Now, how do we actually choose stocks? Kasi daming listed stocks. So we will give you the criteria for judging in this pageant. Ayan. So kailangan tutulungan din namin kayo kasi hindi naman lahat okay eh. So kailangan natin siya intindihin. Alin ba dito yung mga companies that can actually help me in my long-term investing. So first, we have to know that we have to see if they are in a growing industry. Lalo na in this pandemic, there are a lot of industries talagang tinamaan. So what if that company is in a growing industry where it can still transition or pivot in this time of pandemic? Second, of course, letter E, hindi lang siya dapat nag-grow, dapat kumikita rin. Kasi pwedeng yung ibang kumpanya, hindi kumikita, malaki lang ang cost, di ba? Kailangan isipin din natin meron siyang earnings. And of course, letter M, we have to know who's managing it. We have to make sure they are good leaders. We have to make sure that they are managing it well. And of course, letter S, superior products and services wherein people like to actually buy and actually avail of those products and services. Kasi kung hindi yan gusto ng isang customer, hindi yan bebenta, di ba? And with COL, we'll actually shortlist the hundreds of listed companies, and these are the examples of good quality companies. So ano lang gagawin mo? Pipili ka na lang, o, diba? So ito, makikita mo yan. Walang tapon dyan. Lahat yan talagang good quality companies. And also, let's talk about index funds. Equity index funds are actually types, actually a type of mutual fund. Ano ba itong mutual fund? Sa mga nag-P2P dyan, di ba ang P2P, lahat tayo, let's say, we'll go to Alabang. Ayan, wala lang, chill lang. So, all of us will enter that P2P bus. We'll pay that driver. And then that driver will drive us from one point where we all met to Alabang. That driver is a fund manager. Lahat tayo investors, sumakay tayo dun sa bus para si fund manager will actually bring us to our destination, which is that Alabang, which is our investments. So itong si fund manager, since lahat tayo gusto natin mag-invest, pero onti lang ang pera natin, let's say 1,000 pesos, gagawin ni fund manager, amin na yung 1,000 mo, ikaw 1,000, ikaw 5,000, 25, ipunin ko yan lahat, siya mag-i-invest for us. At dahil meron siyang malaking fund, an advantage of this pooled fund, kaya niyang bumili ng more stocks, more companies in a very big basket. Kasi if you do it yourself alone, syempre, you're limited with your budget. Tama ba? Diba? Pero in a equity index fund, ang gagawin niya, ipunin niya yan, ambag tayo. Tapos, will invest to good companies. And this equity index fund actually mirrors the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Therefore, it can only be invested in the 30 large corporations, the most active, most liquid, the most capitalized, and the good companies here in the Philippines. O, di ba? Wala ka nang iisipin kasi it's a basket already ng mga pinakamagagandang kumpanya sa Pilipinas. So, instead of you studying each one, might as well you can consider a basket of funds wherein you get the chance to um, enjoy the profits of every company. O, diba? So that's the equity index fund. And based on history, ayan, this is the equity index funds that mirrors the Philippine Stock Exchange Index in the long-term growth. Ayan, it's based on 10-year returns from 2009 to 2019. Ayan, yung PSEI natin, yung index natin, actually grew 156% from 2009 to 2019. That's the blue line, this one, no? Yan. Pero ang equity index fund, itong nag-handle nito, itong fund na to, hinigitan pa niya, naging 169%. Bakit? Kasi number one, that's their job to make our money grow. But number two, actually, yung dividends na nakuha ng index fund, because di ba naka-invest siya in different companies, ni-reinvest ng fund manager. Therefore, syempre, mas lumaki siya ng OT kasi si PSEI, it's just balancing all the good 30, the top 30 companies. So this equity index fund, it's an investment na of a good fund manager to make it actually grow, same with the PSEI index. PSEI, ayan. Now the question, which is more suitable for me? Actually, hindi ko naman pwedeng sabihin, oh, ito isa, o kaya naman ito isa. It depends per person. You can actually ask yourself, do you want to pick stocks for your own portfolio? Yung gusto mo, ikaw ang mamimili ng, ay, ito gusto kong kumpanya, I believe in this company. Or do you want a basket of good stocks? Ayaw mo na mag-isip, ito na lang para mabili ko na rin lahat. Or you can actually ask yourself, do you want a greater control to influence risk and reward in the short term? Kasi pag nag-invest ka directly, you'll be able to get that profits for yourself. Ito naman, equity index fund, it mirrors the superior long-term return of the PSE. So all the profits are reinvested. Third, you can also ask yourself, do you want to allocate your funds to any part of your portfolio? Meaning, you can actually piliin lahat. Kasi ito, si fund manager sa index fund, siya ang bahala kung saan niya i-invest or saan niya i-allocate ganitong huge amount sa isang company, small lang dito sa company. Ikaw, you can actually do that yourself when you invest in stocks. And lastly, you can actually ask yourself, gusto mo ba mag-diversify anytime? Itong industry na to, papalitan mo na, benta mo, bili ka ulit ng iba. You can do that when you invest in stocks. But in equity index funds, it's diversified already by the fund manager. Even if you have, actually mas mahal nga ang stocks kasi you need to have more funds to be able to buy different stocks. In equity index funds with a minimum amount, nada-diversify na siya ng fund manager. So these are the questions you can actually ask yourself if you're confused, or actually you can buy both. If you have the budget, you can do that. And these are our recommended stocks and equity index funds. Syempre, sa dami nun, shortlist na namin para sa inyo. Why? Because we want to make your life easier. Para at least lahat tayo magni-Netflix na lang. Bakit? Kasi alam na natin gagawin. Nakapili na tayo. And these are recommended stocks and equity funds are being studied by our research team because we believe that you have to be informed and we believe that you have to be educated for you to be able to understand ano nga ba itong pinapasukan mo. So ito, ang gagawin mo, mamimili ka na lang. Diba? Napakasimple lang. Grabe, ayahay ang buhay. Ayan. So how should you start investing? How should I invest? There are actually 3 disciplines of investing. First, you have to invest in the long term. Second, invest in several good quality companies. And third, invest regularly. Let's talk about each one. First, you invest in the long term. Kailangan long term tayo mag-isip. Why? Kasi marami nangyayari sa market. Hindi na nga natin siya matansya, hindi na nga natin alam na mangyayari ang ganitong pandemya. Di ba? Hindi natin matatansya anong pwedeng mangyari pa. That's why when you think about long term, you'll be able to see that actually in the long run, kumikita naman talaga lahat. Ano lang, kailangan lang, habaan lang natin yung duration. This is the Philippine Stock Exchange Index in January 1987 to December 2019. Ayan, index to wow, umabot siya ng 440 pesos. Now, the index is around 7,815. This is December. So, kung nandun ka sa gitna, iniklian mo lang, let's say 5 years, nako, mararamdaman mo yung movement, yung volatility. If you have 1 peso in 1987, actually, kung habaan mo siya hanggang 2019, your 1 peso can actually grow to 17.8 pesos. Wow, galing. But if you have invested 10,000, it will become 178,000 pesos. But if you invested 1 million, 17.8 million na siya ngayon. Alam ko, marami sa inyo hindi pa nabubuhay noong 1987. Don't worry. This is just a vivid example. If you're in your 20s or early 30s, guess what? Habaan lang natin yung pag-invest can actually make our money grow. And maybe, just maybe, lahat tayo magkakamilyon na rin. As long as we continue investing. Yan. Of course, we have to invest in several good quality companies. If you're choosing between stocks, these are the good stocks that you can actually choose from. Of course, syempre, hindi ka bibili ng kunwari lahat ng financial bibilihin mo. Mahirap yun kasi what if that industry ma-hit siya ng kahit anong problem, yung lahat ng stocks mo matatamaan. So what you do, you invest across industries. You maybe choose one financial, choose one holdings, choose one services. So you don't invest in same industry, you don't invest with the same owner, you diversify. Ayan. Pero kung bitin naman or kulang naman ang pera mo, you can actually buy a basket na lang. It's what we call a mutual fund or specifically an index fund. Yan. Third, invest regularly. Naku, ang hirap nito kasi itatrack mo pa eh. But guess what? COL Financial will make it easier for you. What we teach everyone is to follow the Peso-Cost averaging strategy wherein this involves investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals over a long period of time, either in equity index funds or in good quality stocks. So, paano natin to sisimulan? Example, magkano ang budget mo per month? Let's say, let's invest 5,000 pesos every month in one whole year, and I'll choose equity index fund. That's what I do every single month. So that's what we call the peso cost averaging strategy. So regardless if the price is up, bibili ako 5,000 worth, price is down, bibili pa rin ako 5,000 worth, price is up, bibili pa rin ako, and in the long term, kung makita nyo yung yellow line, yan yung average cost mo of buying everything. Ina-average yan lahat ng taas, lahat ng mahal, or lahat ng murang bili mo, i-average niya yung cost averaging niya. Therefore, kung makikita mo siya, mag-lower yung actually yung cost mo of buying everything. And based on history, ayan, based on history, if you do this peso cost averaging strategy, kung makikita mo, talagang bababa yung cost mo eh. And habang pababa yung cost mo, yung presyo or yung value ng market will actually increase over time. Therefore, in difference nun, that will become your profit. And with COL, will make it easier for you. O, diba? Napakadali. Meron ng research. Meron pa tayong peso cost averaging feature. This is what we call an easy investment program. It's a feature of our platform wherein you set up one time that calendar wherein I will buy 5,000 worth of index fund every this time of the month in the next 12 months. We have auto email reminders wherein we'll send an email, Dear Mai, let's buy 5,000 worth of index fund at this date. O, diba? It's very convenient and transparent. We'll be able to let you know if na-execute siya, how much yung mga cost. You will be able to know, you will be able to see that via email. O, diba? Very, very easy. We'll make it very convenient for you. That's what we call the easy investment program. Again, it's a feature, pwedeng hindi mo siya gamitin, pero this is very good for long-term investing. So 3 easy steps to open a COL account. You have to ready your requirements. You have to sign up online and then click the submit button once you're complete and then find your COL account once you get the approval. So here are the requirements. We make sure that you have your valid Philippine government issued ID with clear photo and current signature. Yung iba kasi pwedeng iba-iba yung signatures, pero kung ano yung current signature mo, yun yung ID gagamitin mo na may current signature. Make sure you have a Philippine bank account details kasi every time that you withdraw, instead of you getting the check in our main branch, we'll deposit it to your bank account. O, diba? It's cashless. Wala tayong, or checkless. Ayan. Kasi didiretso na namin siya sa inyong bank account. Wala na tayong iisipin. No more foot traffic. Ayan. If you are locally employed, self-employed, and if you're a foreigner, a tax identification number is required. And if you're locally employed, for sure you have SSS, GSIS, and CRN. Lahat po yun i-input natin sa ating application. So make sure you have it with you. It's just a number, okay? We just need a number. If you are a minor or a student below 18, we just need a copy of your birth certificate. Of course, since everything is online, make sure you have an active email address and a mobile number so that we can actually contact you just in case. And your device and the device that you will use for your sign up, kailangan may camera. Bakit? Kasi meron tayong selfie photo with your ID and a video capture. Ayan, mas mabilis na yan actually. So, pag mag-selfie po tayo at mag-video capture, pakita natin yung buong mukha, okay? Ang video capture po, hindi po siya pang TikTok, okay? Pang ano yan, pang kita lang ng mga jawlines natin. Pakita natin ating buong mukha. Para we know that you're alive and you're a human being. And also, find a blank sheet of paper. Bakit? Kasi pipirma ka doon, freehand. Pipirma ka doon 3 times para makita namin na it's the same with your current signature on the IDs. Ayan. Once you have all your requirements ready, go to https://signup.colfinancial.com. When you go to this link, diretso na yan. Meron na yan step by step on how you can actually fill out the application form. Once everything is complete, you click on the submit button. Will give us time for us to be able to check it. Once everything is complete, you'll get approval. You'll receive an 8-digit COL reference number. You'll use that for you to be able to fund your account. Magkano ang funding? 1,000 lang po. You'll be able to activate your COL account. You can do that by online, via GCash, Asia United Bank, BDO, BPI, China Bank, Metro Bank, Robinsons Bank, and Union Bank. O, diba? Majority of these online bills payment, wala na siyang charges or minimal charges na lang. Itong 1,000 pesos ba to? Maintaining balance ba to? No po. That's your initial capital already. So once you activate your account with at least 1,000 pesos, yun na yung pwede mong gamitin pang-buy ng equity index fund or ng stocks. Diba? So ito, minimum lang naman to. Can you put more? Yes, definitely. Once you have funded your account, you'll receive your username and password. You can log into www.colfinancial.com and you'll be able to access the platform at makabili na tayo ng stocks or mutual funds. Again, to review, this is your road to financial security. First, we have to remember we have to invest. Pay yourself first. Second, invest. Consider investing in equity index funds. You have to choose good quality stocks or a very good basket, the equity index fund. And then third, keep on doing it regularly by reinvesting. You can actually automate it through the easy investment program. Ayan. On a personal note, actually, I've been with COL for 9 years already. And yeah, I've been with COL for 9 years already. Started as a single person. Guess what? Now I'm married and I have two kids. Kami po mag-asawa. My husband is actually a doctor. And kami nagtatrabaho kami. Bakit? Kasi gusto namin we'll be able to put more money in our investments. Saan kami nag-invest? Sa stocks. And since we have kids already, we actually open mutual funds to each one of them. Ang kalain mo, pwede yon, di ba? If you're a parent, you can actually do that. So why are we doing this? Why do we keep on working? Because pag dumating yung araw na gusto na namin or kailangan namin mag-retire or maybe we want to rest or tapos na yung trabaho, and our kids would love to achieve their dreams. Maybe they would like to become a doctor as well, or maybe they would like to open a business. Guess what? Meron na kaming naipon. Meron na kaming na-invest for them. May college fund na, may business fund na, because we started early. Wala pang 6 months, may mutual fund na yan. And for sure, when it will come to a time, to a certain point na kailangan tumigil ng ibang income streams, we'll all be relaxed, we'll be at peace. Why? Because we started early. I'm sharing this with you. Why? Because I want you to think of that big dream, that big goal. Because if you don't have that big goal, you don't have a big reason or big why you want to commit to this investing. When you have that big why of bakit nga ba gusto maging financially secured? Para wala na akong isipin. Para I'll be able to buy a house, maybe invest on a business, maybe help my family. I don't know. But when you have that goal, mas committed ka. You'll be more, you have that desire, ayan, to continue this journey. And once you have that one, do something today that your future self will thank you for. Kung may ganun ka, simulan mo na ngayon para in the future, wala tayong sisihan and you will be thankful for that. And if you are serious about it, continue learning because this is not yet the end. Connect with us through our social media accounts via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Grabe, nandun lahat ng videos. If you want to learn more, just find COL Financial. And if you have questions, send us an email at helpdesk@colfinancial.com and we would love to answer all your questions. Thank you. Back to you, Lorraine.
Okay, thank you everyone. And of course, as mentioned earlier, if you have any more questions, so please follow us on our social media sites. It's at Call Financial for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you have concerns pa, you can email us at helpdesk@callfinancial.com. And of course, to those of you who would like to open an account, again, the link to open an account is https:// signup.callfinancial.com. You can do that using your laptops and your mobile device. And of course, to help us na ma-improve pa namin itong mga learning sessions na to, itong mga webinars na ginagawa namin for you, we will be sending a short survey. So please give us your feedback and we would be happy to listen to what you guys would like to want for our future sessions. Okay, so with that, again, thank you very much and I hope na marami kayong natutunan in this learning session. Stay safe, everyone, and have a happy weekend. Thank you.